Today I'd like to do a video on the 1-year anniversary of our car. We've had Snow White now for 1 year and 1 week. And I'd like to take a look at the car, see how she's holding up, talk a little bit about the costs over this last year, and then at the end, give you some of my wife's likes and dislikes. She has a list that she wanted to share since it technically is her car. It is her car. And then next week, I'm going to do a part 2 where I'm going to go into my likes and dislikes, which are a little more exhaustive, so we'll do a separate video for that. But let's talk about the car. So it's been 1 year. Actually, it's been 1 year, 1 week since we bought Snow White. And she's got 14,902 miles. We've been quite a few places. We've been to the Oregon coast twice, been to Sacramento multiple times, and then we did that big road trip this summer where we actually went up into Oregon, Idaho, Utah, quite a bit in Utah, back home through Nevada, and back to California. So she's seen a lot of roads. She's seen a lot of trips. I did not get PPF, and I did not do ceramic coating on the car. So something I've anticipated doing, I haven't done. Where we live in Redding, there isn't any real reputable shops for PPF. I'd have to go to Sacramento, and what I should have done is just got PPF down there in Sacramento when we picked up our car before we brought it home, but I didn't. And so we'll take a look and see how she's held up without PPF and ceramic coating. I have not rotated the tires at all. I'm at 14,000 miles, so I should be rotating the tires, and I mean to do that this next week. Hopefully I'll take her in and get her rotated. I do have the jacks for that, and I know Les Schwab in town does that, so I'm gonna have to take her in. But it's held up amazingly well. The car has done really good. So let's take a look at the car, walk around it, and see what we see. So let's look first at the front of the car. Again, I do not have PPF. And I did notice, I washed it this morning, I do have a couple big scratches. Got one right here, couple little ones, little one there. That comes off. Just a couple little, that's the biggest one right there. You can see down here, definitely some dings down there. So, hasn't fared too well in the front of the car, but not as horrible as I had imagined. Over here, I don't see hardly any. So really not bad. I did install the mud flaps, as you could see in an earlier video. And I think since I installed the mud flaps, I've seen very few chips in the back. I do have one. Nope, that's dirt. I do have, that's dirt too. One here, a couple little ones back here, there's one there. But not many since I did the mud flaps. If we come around to this side, not as easy in the shade to see, but again, I have the front mud flap, and really, it's fared really, really well on the back since I put those mud flaps in. So definitely recommend the mud flaps. These are the mud flaps I installed. They're the Tesla OEM mud flaps. Did a video comparing them to aftermarket ones, and I like those the best. So overall, the paint has fared really, really well. The only ding I have currently, I'm not sure how it happened, but there's a slight ding right there. It's kind of easy to see in the light, but not sure how that happened. I know one time when I was supercharging, I accidentally dropped the supercharging handle. I thought it hit the license plate, but I don't think it did that. So who knows, maybe shopping cart. I always check the Sentry footage because honestly, it's so hard to look at every single thing that happened. But overall, the paint has fared very, very well. Let's take a look at the tires. So here are the rear tires, and I'll have to get a gauge, but not faring too bad. Not bearing at all. They're a little dirty. I gotta do a cleaning kit on them. I bought some stuff from Hydrosilix. I'm gonna try to do that. Maybe I'll do a video on that. Front, not doing too bad either. And in fact, I don't see a lot of excess tread wear on the front. So I'm gonna have to get them rotated, but really, they're holding up extremely well for 14,000 miles. Definitely time to rotate, but they don't look bad at all. Exterior, other than a couple little chips, the paint job still looks amazing, especially in the sun here especially with the pearl, the white pearl. I love the flecks. I'm not sure how well the camera picks up those flecks in the paint, but doing well. Haven't had any chips in the windshield, knock on wood. Let's take a look inside at the seats and see how the seats are holding up. We did get the white seats. So here are the seats. I did clean them last night. Only thing I noticed in the seats is we are getting some tiger stripes, or I don't know what you want to call those, stretch marks on the seats. I'm going to try cleaning them some more. I've been really bad lately. I haven't cleaned them. I did last night. So other than that, they do look still really, really nice. I'm still super impressed. I still like the fact that I got the white seats. Let's look at the back here. It looks amazing. I did not clean these last night, but still looks amazing. The car is just, it's an amazing car. I did get the floor mats, the 3D Maxpider floor mats, and they've done a great job holding up. The front one I noticed does slide sometimes, so I have to adjust it. I'm very tall, and but underneath, the other mats look great. I kept the old ones in there underneath. So back here, things are holding up really well. We have the 3D Maxpider mats. Don't have little kids, I have older kids, and I don't have pets, but it's holding up really, really well. I mean, the car looks almost as good as the day I bought it, other than that ding in the back there and maybe some chips. So car is looking really, really good. Inside the car, again, I have cleaned it. I don't clean it every single week, but I cleaned it last night, vacuumed it. I did get the covers, which I did a video on, for the gloss black, because I didn't like the gloss black, and a little dirty now, but that's holding up really well. It's kind of hard to see the screen because of the glare, but I did get a screen cover for the screen, and the only thing I've noticed is at one point we must have chipped it because the edge is chipped, but thankfully that's just the screen cover that's chipped and not the actual screen. Dash is a little dirty, didn't clean that off, and I didn't clean the front window very well. But again, the car is holding up really well. Stitching in the seats are holding up well. Other than that stretch marks here and there, they're still just as soft as the day we got them. I don't have a lot of nicks and dings on the car in terms of, you know, the dash. I've seen sometimes people's glove boxes have some dings, but we have been just jumping in and out just like normal, and just it wipes off really easy. So just really good. Headliner is very good. I still have this piece of paper that was there when we bought it. I got to get out, but other than that, the headliner's still really good. I do have some gaps that we never got fixed when we picked it up, but okay, just so you can see, I do have 14,912 miles, like I said, so she's been around quite a bit, but still holding up good. So I'm super impressed with the car. You know, I wasn't sure when we got the electric car. I knew it was a cool idea. It was an electric car. It was a Tesla. Always wanted to have a Tesla. But I just wasn't sure how I would feel after a year. I wasn't sure how I'd feel after having the car drive me around. I wasn't sure I'd feel about having to charge and doing road trips. And I'll tell you that after a year, I not only love this car, but my first thoughts when I think about this car is, when can I get the next one? And which one am I going to get? I can't wait to get this thing paid off so we can get another one, because driving this car is amazing. The worst thing is fighting my wife for it. This is my wife's car. And so I have a big truck, a 2500 GMC truck, that's usually what I drive. But when I ever get a chance to drive this thing on weekends or during the week when she doesn't need it, I definitely take advantage of it because it's so much fun to drive. It's fun to drive. I'll go through all the different likes and dislikes next week, but it's hard to not like driving this car. If you haven't got a Tesla and you're thinking about it, do it. Test drive it and do it, because you won't regret it. I'd like to talk real quick about my wife's likes and dislikes. She said that she wanted to give her input, and so she gave me some likes and dislikes. The first thing she loves is not having to buy gas, which is kind of interesting that she says not having to buy gas, because honestly, I always had to buy the gas for her. Didn't have to, but that's what I did. And she doesn't ever have to get gas. We come home, plug it in at night. We did get the we got the home wall charger. We come home at night, plug it in, and the next day it's ready to go. And with the driving we do around town and the trips we make, that's enough. We don't have to charge it any more than that. There's no supercharger in Reading. I think we're getting one in the near future, but right now there isn't. But we don't need one. Just charging at home is enough. So that's amazing. And gas-wise, I hardly ever have to get gas as well for my truck. I think I get it once every 2 months, which is great because gas is so expensive right now. The second thing she likes is a minimalist design. She wasn't sure when we got the car that she would like the minimalist design. She wasn't sure that she would like the fact that there are no buttons other than, you know, the door, the touch screen. That's it, right? And then the scroll wheels and the stalks. But she wasn't sure that she would like this design. When we were test driving the Tesla, comparing it to other cars, she loved how there was a button for this and a button for that and a button for heat seat and a button for the, you know what, everything. And button for the trunk, button for the gas. And it was hard for her to visualize not having all of those things. And I kept saying, well, it's all there. It's just in the screen. It's there. But she wasn't sure. She didn't think she'd like it. After a year, she says she loves it. She loves the fact that there's a screen that controls everything and there are very few buttons. So she's come to love the minimalist design, which was something that we weren't sure about when we bought the car. And finally, she loves that when we do road trips, we stop more now. I got to the point at one point with kids and I got to get where we're going and go. And deep down inside, I do like to stop and see things. I like to check things out, but we're always just going. And now we charge. And the stops, usually we'll stop about every 2 hours, sometimes a little bit more often. If you've watched our road trip videos, you can see that. But she loves the fact that we stop more, we slow down, we check out things, and we charge. And the charging, which we thought would take us hour or more every time we stopped, it doesn't. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, those are the average time stopping. And honestly, by the time we go in, get our food, get something to drink, use the restroom, stretch our legs, it's time to go. If we stop and we're deciding to have a meal, we got to move the car because the car is done before we're done with our meal. So it's not an issue, but the fact that we stop more often and we see things more. I think the video when we were in Twin Falls, the supercharger was at the bridge that goes over the gorge at Twin Falls there, and I'll put that up right now. And the fact that we stopped and saw it, I don't know that we would have done that if it were not for the supercharger. We probably would just drove through to our next destination and not stopped. And I find ourselves stopping and seeing more, so we really like that. She's got a couple dislikes, not many, but she did think about some of the things that she doesn't like about the car. Number one, she doesn't like that I want to take her car all the time. She doesn't like that I'm always asking to take her car. I didn't do that with her old car, but I do all the time because I want to drive this car. So that's why we need another Tesla, because I need my own. I'll take this one and give her the new one. But yeah, I just ask all the time to drive the car. She doesn't like also that you can't access the Sentry mode footage from the phone. When you pull up the Sentry mode, when you pull up dash cam and you look at what's going on, it takes, actually after this V11, it takes a lot longer to load up. I mean, it takes quite a while to get it loaded up. And then it's just cumbersome to scroll through. She wishes that you could sit at home on the couch or in a restaurant or wherever, pull up the dash cam footage and look at your Sentry and dash cam mode footage from the phone, which I agree. That would be a great thing. Elon, hey, let's do it. It should be hard. You can see live screen of what's going on. So we got to find a way to access that footage that's on the car. And the third thing is she doesn't like the way I drive in the Tesla because sometimes I drive a little too fast. I mean, it's hard. It's hard when you go 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds to not kick it on the freeway sometimes. It's hard to not want to slalom through the curves. And so I really have to calm myself down. And sometimes I'll put it in chill mode, but I really have to think when she's in the car and drive more conservatively because I haven't got any tickets, knock on wood. Yeah, I just like to drive. I like to move around in the car, and having that instant torque is amazing. It's amazing to have. The last thing she's not sure, she's still not sure on the white seats. I showed you the seats. They're holding up really well, but I think she worries about them more. Let's face it, when we have other seats in other cars, you know, we didn't clean them. We didn't take care of it. In fact, we didn't take care of the car like this. We didn't look for nicks in the paint like this. It was just the car. But this car is so much more than a car to us that it does make us think about it. And oh my gosh, it's raining. Should I have jeans on? I get in the car. Should I put a towel down? So she does have a lot more thoughts and concerns about the seats. I do too. Eventually when we get a new one and she has the new one, I don't know that we'll go white. We might go black the next time, especially with grandkids coming and grandkids that we have now. It'd be nice not to have to worry about that, but they are amazing looking. And it is a showstopper when people see your car and see these seats. So we're on the fence on that. I'm glad we did, and I would do it again, but the next one I think I won't. So that way she doesn't have to worry about it when she's in that car. And if it's a rainy day and I have jeans on, I don't have to worry about it. So probably won't clean them as often, but who knows? We'll try. So the question on how much has this car cost me over the last year is an easy and a tough question. Number one, we got our car December 28th, this last 2020. We got our car December 20th, 2020. And because we bought our car and we picked it up within the last 15 days of the quarter, we had an incentive to do that, to get free supercharging for a year. So of all of the road trips we've done, we've paid zero on supercharging. That will start now. Any road trips from now on will cost us. And now with the tiered pricing and superchargers, who knows what it'll cost us. Stay tuned. We'll have to do a video next year and tell you how much it costs us after a year using supercharging. But if I figure that at home, you know, I'm 15 cents per kilowatt hour. Total mileage this year, 14,912 miles, 4,438 kilowatt hours used. Let's say that I know I've done at least 7,000 miles of that has been driving. Let's just say half. Say half of that has been on road trips, half of that has been home. So if we figure 4,438 kilowatts. Now, one thing is, you know, even though I've used 4,438, it's cost more than that. If I say half of that, that's 2,219 kilowatt hours used. But because of phantom drain, because the fact that when you plug your car in, it's not going directly to your mileage, the wall to wheels cost of the car, you know, I'm figuring, say, 90% efficiency. So if I take the 2219 and divide it by 0.9, that gets me about 2,465 kilowatt hours used. If we figure that's a good estimate of the actual kilowatts used for home based on the phantom drain, based on the wall to wheel loss. Then if we take and divide that by 15 cents per kilowatt hour, try again. So 4438 divided by 2 divided by 0.9, multiply that by 15 cents per kilowatt hour. That cost is about $370. That's about all I paid, folks. No maintenance. I already had the windshield wiper fluid in my garage, so I haven't bought any windshield wiper fluid. That's all I put into this car. No oil changes. I told you I hadn't rotated the tires yet, so I've got to do that, but I think they'll do it for free. No brake issues, no issues at all. The only thing I had that service was to do some minor adjustments, and that was covered under the warranty. So that's my cost for driving the car for a year, $370. Now that's going to be up next year when I have to pay for supercharging, but that's pretty darn cheap. That is pretty darn cheap. So it saved me a lot of money this last year having the Tesla. Of course, it costs to buy the Tesla, but I've saved in maintenance, I've saved in fuel, I've saved a lot. So that's the cost this last year, my estimation. If you don't agree with that, let me know. That's my best approximation to try to figure out what it is. Unfortunately, I got a pond put into my house about the same time as we got the Tesla, and the pond runs 12, probably 15 hours a day. So my electric costs are not comparable to last year anyway, so I couldn't just compare my electrical bills. So that's the best way I found it, taking the estimated hours I've used at home, dividing by the 90% to account for that loss that I have, and then multiplying by the 15 cents per kilowatt hour, which is all the time. That's all I ever pay. There's no off-peak, on-peak in the city of Reading. So that's it after 1 year. Would I do it again? In a heartbeat. Will I get another one? Yes, I will. Do I love this car? Without a doubt. It's an amazing car. Can't say enough good things about it. Maybe I'm a Tesla fanboy. Maybe I just like good things. I don't know what it is, but definitely something that I recommend. If you're thinking about getting a Tesla, go for it. Do it. Next week, as I said, I will be doing my likes and dislikes on the car over this last year, what I have found with the whole process of using the car for 14,000, almost 15,000 miles. Stay tuned to check that out. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. That's it for this week. I'll catch you next week. Thanks for watching.